Good day, everyone, and welcome to Home at the Hollow. Thank you so much for joining me. A hopefully very quick video today. I'm not the slightest bit interested in cooking dinner tonight. I'm going to go ahead and admit it. But there is one thing I wanted to try, so maybe y'all don't have to, or maybe you want to. If you have already tried this recipe, please drop me a comment below and let me know how it worked out for you. But this is for something that seems to be all over the internet. It's butter swim biscuits. And now I've made biscuits for years and years and years, and dutifully rolled them out and cut them and, you know, all of that. This just absolutely just chucks that right out the window and hopefully makes it a little bit easier. So since I don't want to cook dinner tonight, I'm going to have breakfast for dinner. I'm making biscuits, and this is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And y'all know I'm going to drop all of the ingredients below. Give it a little bit of a whisk. Make sure it's happy. I've got 4 teaspoons of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder. Please, please make sure your baking powder is fresh. Otherwise, it's going to be for your biscuits. And, you know, I buy 2 or 3 of these a year just to make sure, just to make absolutely sure that it's fresh. I've got a couple of teaspoons of sugar, and I put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. My butter has salt, and I just don't want to overload it with butter. And that looks pretty good to me. I've got 2 cups of buttermilk. If you want to do regular buttermilk, low-fat buttermilk, that's totally fine. If you don't have buttermilk, a couple of cups of milk with about 4 teaspoons of vinegar. Now, I know I have a subscriber, and I think it's been some months ago, I had a really hard time finding buttermilk, and she suggested this buttermilk powder. It just, you know, something about it just isn't appealing to me. I have used it before, and this is one of those things I will only use unless I'm just absolutely desperate. That sounds really horrible, but I don't want to use a buttermilk powder in something like this. If you can get buttermilk or make your own, and yes, definitely not almond milk, you know, regular milk, low fat, whatever. I don't think skim would work very well. And I'm going to just give this a mix. This is going to be interesting. I'm not real keen. I'm melting a stick of butter, which is 1/2 cup of butter, in the microwave. I've got, if you have an 8x8, you know, glass pan, you know, little glass pan, that's awesome. I could not find mine. I don't know where it got to. I do have basically an 8 or a 9-inch springform pan. But the one thing that you want to do if you're using an 8x8 or 9x9 is to make sure that the sides are big and deep enough to where when this butter starts cooking and bubbling, that it doesn't spill over. You know, put your pan on a baking sheet, and well, it looks, you know, okay. It looks not bad. It's definitely a wet dough. And I don't want to overwork it too much, and there you go. I'm going to grab my butter and we'll carry on. I've got my 1/2 cup butter melted, and yes, it definitely got warm, and I'm going to just pour it right in. Just like that. I'm going to take my biscuit. I'm going to, you know, try to, sorry about the bowl, y'all. Try to get this as spread out as I can without having to, you know, stretch it too much on my own. And just, you know, kind of give it a push. And this is supposed to make, I believe, 9 biscuits. I'm preheating my oven to 450. If you have a glass pan or whatever kind of pan you have, 450 is fine. But with this dark coated pan, I'm heating it to 450. But as soon as I put this in, I'm going to turn it down to 425 because this will be, you know, with a dark pan, you have to reduce your heat. So let's see. Let's see if I can. Of course, it would be better if I had a square pan, but that's okay. And I'm going to just score it. And then that's it. That's it. I'm going to bake it. Probably, I'm going to start checking these at 25 minutes. By 25 minutes, it should be done if you were baking at 450. But the next time you'll see this, they'll be out of the oven, and I'll show you what I came out with. So this just came out of the oven, and it's a nice crisp top. The butter didn't bubble up like I thought, like I imagined or was afraid was going to, but it's looking actually really, really good. I'm gonna let it cool off for a few minutes, and then we're gonna cut one and pull it out for y'all to see. Yeah, I've waited about a minute. I couldn't wait. I really couldn't wait. I've got a couple of little plates here, and let's just see what this actually really looks like. I think I'll just, you know, make this one. And what I had to do is I did heat the oven up to 450. I turned it down to 425, and then I pretty much quickly realized that they just weren't moving, you know, like I kind of anticipated they would. So I said, yeah, I think we'd better boop it, you know, bump it up a little bit, or boop it up. And I did bump it back up to 450 degrees. I set my timer for 25 minutes originally, and I was looking and looking, and I'm like, I just really want to see this brown. It took maybe 5 more minutes to actually ooh, that's some kind of hot. But I think y'all can see it looks really like a really good tender crust. Yikes. And the bottom is not burnt. I'm gonna take, I'm hoping I can take just a little bite here. Yikes. Oh. Let's see. Maybe a little bite. Well, I guess gone are the days of rolling biscuit dough out and cutting. This is awesome, y'all. It really is really good. I hope that you give it a try. This was so much fun, and it was just almost too easy. This is going to put any little frozen or packaged biscuit that you can buy on the shelves in the store to shame. For shame. This is excellent. I want to thank y'all for joining me here home at the Hollow. Try this recipe. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Drop me a comment. Y'all have a great weekend. This is so good.